Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to our Station 1. My name is Deputy Chief Carroll with the Easton Fire Department. This pandemic has changed a lot in our day-to-day lives, and for our SAFE program, this meant that we were no longer able to get into your classrooms this year, as well as host our annual open house. But I'm happy to say that this is all about to change with our new educational video series. We're going to include everything from station tours to our normal classroom curriculum, as well as some other videos from outside agencies. All of this can be found on the Easton Community Access Television YouTube page, and we'll send out the link on our social media platforms as more videos become available. We hope you enjoy the series, and remember to wear your mask, wash your hands frequently, and we'll all get through this together. Enjoy.
Hey guys, Lieutenant McCormick here from the Easton Fire Department. And most of you guys know me as Firefighter John, right? So I'm gonna take you guys through sort of like a virtual tour of one of our fire trucks, okay? So this is the fire engine, right? A lot of you guys have seen this before. And it's one of those trucks that we take on basically every call that we get called to, okay? Whether it's a fire, obviously, right? Or it could be a car accident or some kind of medical call, somebody's hurt, injured, something like that. This truck goes on almost all those calls, right? All right, so what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna start showing you how some of the functions work on the truck and some of the equipment that we have here, right? So this is the front of the cab, all right? And this is where our driver sits. We call him the operator or the engineer. And you can see there's a lot of controls and switches up front here, right? The pump operator has a big responsibility with all this stuff. They have to know how everything works, and when they're driving to the calls, they have the job of controlling all these little functions in front of the truck. So every morning they get in the truck and they make sure that everything is working properly, okay? So they have to turn the truck on, and they have to make sure that the truck is running properly and that all the gauges are correct, okay? They have to make sure that we have plenty of water in the truck, and they have to make sure that the pump is working too, right? So they turn on the pump, and then they turn on all the emergency lights as well to make sure that they're all working, okay? So when we do that, we have to take a walk around the truck and make sure that all the lights are working. And we have to go all the way around and make sure that everything is operating properly. All right, so we showed you guys the front of the cab, right? Now I want to take you guys around back to the rear cab, okay? So this is where all the firefighters ride on the way to the call, right? So we have seats in the back here where the firefighters get ready before they go to a call, right? So they're gonna put their gear on back here, right? And each seat has an air pack built into it, right? So the air pack is set up like this. You've seen these before, right? And it fits right into the back of the seat where they sit. So when they're on their way to the call, they get all their gear on, they can put the pack on like this, and they can put on their face mask and everything like that. So they get their gear on, they get their air pack on, and their face mask. So when they get to the call, they're ready to go. So I wanted to show you guys the back of the truck here, okay? Now the main purpose for the fire engine when it's heading to a fire is to bring water to the fire, okay? Now this truck here carries 750 gallons of water, okay, inside of it. In the center of this truck is like a big water tank, right? And it has a ton of water in it. So as you can see up here is where we keep a lot of our hose, right on top of the truck in the hose beds, right? And you see all different sizes and a real whole bunch of it, right? The reason for that is we have to choose how much water we want to bring to the fire and how far we need to bring it, okay? So That's how we deliver the water to the fire, through these hoses, okay? I'm going to show you how the nozzle works, okay? So we pull the hose off the back as far as we need it. We charge it with water, right? Once this hose is filled up with water, we're ready to go. Now the nozzle works a lot like how your nozzle at home works on your garden hose, right? You squeeze it and the water comes shooting out of it. Well, this thing here, right, is the same way. It's just a much bigger nozzle with a lot more hose and water, right? So what you do is you pull the lever, this is the valve, all the way back like that, and then the water comes shooting out of it when you're ready for it, okay? And when you want it to stop, you just push it forward, and that's it. It's pretty simple, right? So guys, I wanted to show you our pump panel, right? A lot of you guys have probably seen this walking by the truck or seeing the truck drive by on the street. And when you look at it, you're like, whoa, what's all this stuff, right? It's very confusing, it seems like, right? There's a lot going on. Realistically, though, it is actually fairly simple, okay? All of these valves that are on this truck are directed towards a specific hose line that we want the water to go to, right? So we pick the hose line that we want water to go to and we pull it out, all right? And this control panel here is how we control the amount of pressure that's going out into that hose line. So if we need more pressure, we can turn it up. If we need less pressure, we can turn it down. And that's basically it. That's how a lot of this stuff works. Hey, so I wanted to show you guys some of the hand tools and some of the equipment that we keep in this truck. I'm sure you guys see all the doors that go all the way around the truck. It's like a big toolbox, right? So here are some of the more common things that we use, right? Now, everybody knows what this is, right? It's a fire extinguisher, right? Everybody's seen these around. We use these all the time in the fire service, okay? For small fires, stuff inside buildings where we don't need a ton of water, these work really well. All right, so next here, we have some hand tools, okay? Now you guys have probably seen us kind of walking up to buildings or stuff like that with things like this in our hands, all right? So what we have here is, this tool is called a Halogen, right? And this tool here is the flathead axe. And we call these tools together, we always bring them together, right? Is the irons, right? And we use them to get into locked doors and things like that. They're very useful tools. Now, this tool here is a 6-foot fire hook, okay? And very common tool that we use. They call it a fire hook or a pike pole. And it's basically used to pull down ceilings or walls, okay? Where when you're in a building that's on fire, there may be fire hiding up above you in the ceiling, okay? Or in the walls as well. So we use this to access that so that we can find hidden fire, okay? All right. Now you guys probably know what this is, right? We carry these on all of our trucks. It's a chainsaw, right? This one here is a special chainsaw for firefighting, okay? It's very heavy duty. And we use it to cut holes in the roof of a building and also in the walls on the exterior of a building to get into spaces where, like, once again, fire may be behind or up in a high place where it's difficult for us to get to. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you guys, this is, these tools are called, we call them the jaws, right? And a lot of times you'll hear them referred to as the jaws of life, right? And this is one of the coolest tools that we carry, right? They're very big and heavy duty, and we use them when somebody has been caught or trapped in a motor vehicle collision where there's a heavy damage to the car and they can't get out through normal means, right? So we use these heavy duty tools, and this one here cuts and this one here spreads apart metal and all kinds of very strong material, right? So it can cut and spread right through metal. I'll show you kind of how it works. It's very heavy, but they're amazing tools, right? And That right there can push apart 10,000 pounds worth of metal strength. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed our little virtual tour of our fire engine today. It was nice to chat with you guys, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care.